What is going on, everybody? We finally have the full GD04 list, and today I'm going to be talking about everything. So I know for a while there I was keeping up with every time a new card was revealed, I would make a short about it and talk about it, and then after the time change, it actually messed with my schedule quite a bit, and I got a little bit behind, and then a little bit turned into a lot of it, and then I was like, I'll just wait for everything to come out. I'll try to do better in the future, but also a slight personal thing. I've been working on getting a new job, and I did get it. I start near the end of this month, but I'm going to be working at a card shop, so that is going to definitely be helpful for me getting more awesome card stuff and then a lot of Gundam stuff. But let's go ahead and hop into it. And we're going to go over everything. Anything that's, a little bit older, I'll try to be a little quick about. So this is the new LR Gundam. This is a level 6-4 cost, 6-3, that when it attacks, it'll bounce the Amuro back to your hand. I'm not a big fan of this card. I don't like this card. I know a lot of people are freaking out about it. Anytime they put Amuro Ray down here in the link section, people act like it's the greatest thing. And like, for example, NT1, I was not a big fan of the NT1. I thought it was okay. In my mind, I was like, yeah, that's a decent, one of, I guess. And I think if Ping was more popular, it might be a bit better. But even then, I don't know. It's still trying to get stuck up on too much. I don't like this card, but I know a lot of people do. Next, this is a new one. We have a new Penelope. This is our second blue LR, level 6-5 cost, 3-5 stats, links to lane aim. It's Earth Federation, and then during your turn, all your Earth Federation units gets AP +1, and then on deploy during this turn, when one of your Earth Federation units destroys an enemy unit with battle damage, choose one enemy unit with 5 or less HP and rest it. I think this is okay. I think at these stats, for 3-5 is pretty underwhelming. I think maybe at this stats, if it had repair, preferably 2, but even 1 maybe. I think this was a very underwhelming final LR reveal. Lane already needs a lot of help to make it. I think there's it's crazy because I think there's a lot of good Earth Federation cards, but Lane just cannot find a way to fit in there. He's just not very good. I mean, Lane's good, but his unfortunately all the Penelopes have been kind of meh. Nothing super amazing. I think these stats are just absolutely terrible. Let's see. Moving on to Victory Gundam. I have been very, very iffy on all these League Militaire cards. So I've talked about Victory Gundam already. So this one, I mean, it's decent. If you have 3 or more League Military units in play, you draw 1. And the thing with his pilot is it spawns a League Militaire token. So you just have to have 1 more guy and you get to draw. I think this is decent, but I was just like, meh. All these tokens, and the tokens can't attack directly, but I was like, what's the point of this deck? I don't really like the tokens. For the most part, don't really do anything. But there was a new card today that we'll get to that kind of changed my mind and actually has me somewhat excited to test around with this at least. Up next, we have the Psycho Gundam Mark II. I don't think I made a video on this one, so it's level 8, 7 cost, 4-7 stats, links to Rosamia Badam. If I mispronounce things, I'm 100% going to mispronounce things. But anyway, so this one has repair 2, and then once per turn, when you pair a Cyber New Type pilot with one of your blue units, draw 1. I think this is very interesting. I don't think it does enough on turn 8. Because immediately, if you play this out, and I have to remember what this pilot does, so we'll get around to the pilot, but I don't know. The 4-7 stat line is pretty solid. I'm happy with it having 7 health is quite a bit. It'll go up to, I assume, 6. I'd have to look at the pilot again. 6 attack though, but presumably it being able to draw immediately off itself, and then if you get more pairs with Cyber New Type pilots, it's kind of interesting. This wouldn't work with you can't play this, splash it in with Merida because it has to be blue units. So I mean, I guess you could put a Merida on a blue unit, but that wouldn't be, well, I guess unless it's Banshee. So, but you couldn't put on a Kazatria, is my point I was trying to make. So, I don't know how I feel about this card. I'd like to try it out. I will always like to try to make Psycho Gundam work. I really like Psycho Gundam, especially the first one. And the MA mode, I think, is actually incredibly underrated. But yeah, I don't know about this one. It's quite expensive. And then we have the GM3, a level 2 cost 3/2 Earth Federation card. I don't think Earth Federation needed this, so just kind of a filler card. We have the V-Dash Gundam, level 6/4 cost, Breach 3. I think I've talked about him before. Resting other League military units, choose one enemy unit with 4 less HP and rest it. So this, ideally, you'd be resting one of your tokens, and then you get to choose enemy level 4 or less HP and rest it. This is one of the cards I thought was better when looking at the League military before. And so now you get to rest something, and then you attack over with Breach 3. And it has 5 health, which is pretty good. Like, that's a decent amount of health. You rest somebody with 2 or 3 attack, and, you're looking in a pretty good position. So I do like this card quite a bit. And it is one, I don't know, I'm going to have to be testing around because I haven't got to build anything yet since the full set has come out. And like I said, there's another card coming up that has really kind of changed my mind on the League military stuff. And so I definitely am going to be messing around with it. But I think this, if the deck is good, this is going to be one of the things that will be making it good. Then we have the Victory Gundam Hexa, level 5/4 cost 4/4 during pair on attack. Deploy one of the parts tokens. This one is whatever. I think there's easier ways to. Being able to get one every time you attack, it might be like one or two of possibly. I'd have to like look at everything contextually and kind of see what it looks like. We have another Gundam here. This is the level 5/3 cost. During Link, it gets high maneuver, and it's a 4/4. I think this one has a much better shot of seeing play over the LR version, and I don't even love this one. I think it is a little redundant to rest a unit and then get high maneuver. Because, ideally resting, you're probably going to be blocking. This, if you rest it, you don't have repair, so you don't get the advantage of being able to swing over into it. So I think this is just having high maneuver in your toolbox for Amuro is what makes it kind of neat. But it also just might not see play as well. We'll have to wait and see about that one. And I try to, I'm going to make some hot takes. I just try to be real. I feel like a lot of people in the Gundam card game, they'll see anything and they're like, it's broken, it's incredible. And it's like, most of the time these cards aren't very good. So I try to be pretty realistic. And if I remember correctly, this one's absolute trash. We have Gun Cannon and Gun Cannon, level 5/4 cost, 3/4. Pretty bad stats right off the bat. When linked, choose one of your other white base team units that is level 4 or higher. Set it as active. This is terrible. That's the double link, but that is atrocious. That is really, really bad. Unless there's something unless it like specifically works. But like, this is not a good effect. This is not a good stat. I feel like that's awful. Well, hold on. What was that? A rare? That's crazy. That's a terrible rare. So here we have Gaplant. I don't know. Level 4 2 cost 3/4. Generic Titans link. That's not bad. I really love these 3/4 stats that are 2 cost with a generic link. I don't know if Titans ever like really gets there, and then obviously Titan stuff usually wants repair stuff, but I don't know. I really like this stat line. Is pretty solid. Victory Gundam. I like this art a lot. Level 3 2 cost. When 2/3 by the way, or 3/2, sorry. When destroyed, if another friendly League military unit is in play, deploy one parts token. I always feel like there's another part of the effect, but no, that the token is just that long of a description. I feel like this is probably not one worth playing. Or if you do, not very much of it. I don't know. I just mess around with it. Core Booster. So this is a level 3 2 cost 3/3. It has a double link. Probably not worth playing. I don't remember what Slayer Law does. If this is a good pilot, then if you're playing both those pilots, and Sayla's not even that good. Like Sayla's fine, but yeah, probably not really worth anything. Here it is, the Core Fighter, level 4, 2 cost, 2/3 stats, links to just generic League Militaire, and then while this unit is rested, all your League Militaire unit tokens gain blocker. I think that completely changes the idea of this deck. It suddenly makes all the tokens do something. It gives something to do with all your tokens. And then you can just keep swarming tokens and just keep attacking with this. Obviously, like, your opponent can take this out with a command card, or if you attack and they block with it and stuff like that, or block against it. So I mean, like, it's not like an unbeatable combo, but also you can just play another one of these, and they don't have to be linked or paired or nothing. Like, it just has to be rested. So and on top of that, you can rest this with, like, if your opponent has blockers, you can rest with. I'm gonna back out this way. Was it him? No. You can rest with this, and it's once per turn, and then you can rest one of their blockers, and then attack into it with your Breach 3 guy. So that's a pretty good little combo there to go together with this. Like, ideally, you're probably resting tokens, but if you want to use this and can't attack because of blockers, there's a built-in way around it. Like, this and the other card go really, really well together, actually. And also, you can play this, assuming you already have the V-dash out, and then, like, your next turn you play Core Fighter, and you don't want to put a pilot on there, you don't have a pilot, whatever. You can still use that effect to rest this, and you don't have to attack with it. So that's kind of crazy, actually. Up next we have the Shoku. I don't know, definitely got that wrong. Level 2 2 cost 2/3. This one might be playable for the early game, possibly. I don't love the stats. I'd much rather have a level 2 1 cost 2/2, but up next we have a level 3 2 cost. Deploy. Choose one of your active League military units and one enemy units level 3 or lower and rest them. Another thing that rest. That's this is Shrike Team trait link. I have to pay more attention to the pilots and see what are Shrike Team pilots. Let's see. And then we have the Zoloat. It is level 2 2 cost blocker. 3/2. This is a Zawart. This is definitely play this one. Pretty decent card. So yeah, we'll go into the blue pilots. We have Uso Ewan. I can't remember how to say his name. So this guy, when he is paired, if it is a League military unit, deploy 1 parts token. And he is a 2/1, and this is really going to get a lot of your things going on. He's also a new type, where that may be relevant sometimes. So pretty solid pilot, I would say. Then we have a level 3 1 cost 2/0. That's a Titan Cyber new type. When linked, choose one rested enemy unit, deal 1 damage to it. So this is the one that links to this one, right? Yes. So it doesn't really like combo with this in any way. They're very separate effects. So if one rested unit, deal 1 damage to it. I mean, it's an okay effect. It's not really something you want to be doing on a level 8 unit. It is 2/0 as well on the stat line. He has 7 health, so like you don't really need much more. But I mean, getting at least 1 more would feel good. I don't feel like this is a very playable card. I'd have to really mess around with some stuff, but I don't feel like this is worth running. Up next, we have Marbit Finger Hat. Level 3 1 cost. This is a League Militaire, +1/+1. All your League Militaire unit tokens get AP +1. I think this is you definitely play this one. Because this is not on your... This is maybe the only time I've seen this type of effect that doesn't say during your turn. So this would make... Because what do the tokens come out as again? They're 1 AP, 1 HP. So they would become, 2 AP. And then if you have the core, what is the name? Core fighter out, they become 2/1 blockers that you can infinitely spawn. And at that point, it's like, okay, now we're kind of doing something, And like you can put this on the core fighter and attack with it, and then he's rested, and then now all your guys are 2/1 blockers, all your parts tokens. So he's awesome. This might be a girl. I was saying he, but those look like things. But it also looks like just a big sack of a shirt. So I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention. But anyway. Then we have Slegger Law. Okay, he was up there with something, I don't remember. Level 3 1 cost, Earth-fed white base team on it, +1/+1. On attack, choose one of your white base team units. It gets +1 AP during this turn. So it's essentially a +2/1 for level 3, which isn't bad for real. Except for, well, it's got to be units, so it is more specific. But you can kind of, like, if you need to, maybe this guy doesn't need the extra attack this turn, you can give it to one of your other guys potentially, if that makes a difference. And that did link to... I can maybe see that actually making an Earth-fed deck. It doesn't seem too bad. Doesn't necessarily seem great, but it doesn't seem too bad. So we have Kind-Hearted, a new... we're going into command cards here, level 3 1 cost. This is one of the new cards. Its burst is activate this card's main effect, and it is actually a main or action effect. During this turn, friendly units can't be destroyed by enemy effects. Then draw one card. I think, first of all, this just completely outclasses Healthy Curiosity because it has a burst, and you get to draw on burst, which is much, much better. I don't think the resting part of Healthy Curiosity is something you care about that much anyway. You just want to be able to draw. And so this one being able to draw out of burst, I think is quite good. However, it has this additional effect. And again, I don't think this effect really matters that much anyway. I want to make sure people understand, because I think there has been some confusion. First of all, if your opponent plays Fatal Strike, you cannot, and even if it's, well, let's see, Fatal Strike's not during action. Let's say Giant Killing, because Giant Killing is during the action step. You cannot then respond with Kind-Hearted and prevent your card from being destroyed, because it was already have been destroyed before you activate this card, because there's no like real response window in this game like there is in some other games. This would have to be done preemptively, and then your opponent just doesn't play the card, that would cause them, that would be trying to destroy something. And also, importantly, this does not protect you from being destroyed by effect damage. If you have a linked Grandpa Gundam out, and your opponent hits you with a Battle of Aces, and with a close combat, and then presumably you're like, oh, they're probably going to hit me with a Battle of Aces next. You can't respond with Kind-Hearted, or you could, but it won't protect you from being destroyed, because the enemy effect is to do damage. This prevents an enemy effect that would destroy. Again, like Fatal Strike, or Giant Killing, or I can't remember. There's a new guy. Is it Destiny? We'll get to it. But when an effect says destroy, this is what that would stop, and it has to be done beforehand. Now, if the Exia, the one that when it destroys a shield area card, you get to destroy an enemy unit. If your opponent attacked with that Exia, you could activate this on action step, and then you wouldn't get anything destroyed because the destroy effect hasn't happened until the shield area card is destroyed. So this would work against that, but Exia is not really a card that's played or has an issue. But if it ever did come up, or if there's a similar situation, Kind-Hearted would work against that. That being said, I think this is a pretty good card. I think this is a card that I definitely want to try to see what I can fit it into. And not for nothing, you still can play, if you ever need to, for whatever reason. If there's a deck where it's all about getting through your deck and doing whatever, if it's a Banshee thing or something, you just need command cards to keep drawing or whatever, you could play Kind-Hearted and Healthy Curiosity and Show of Resolve. And just draw for days. So I mean that's something, I guess, you know. And I don't think it's anything to do now, but maybe one day, who knows. Up next, we have maybe the cutest art in the set, Moment of Rest. Level 4, 1 cost, burst draw card, there you know, another draw card there. And then main, choose one rest enemy unit level 5 or lower. It won't be set as active during the start phase of your opponent's next turn. I think that's a pretty solid effect. I think there's lots of different ways to use this. So I think it becomes especially strong if you have a deck that you want to have breach effects over, or the new Banshee. You want to have rested units. Maybe the O, where you want to be just constantly clearing and repairing and stuff like that. I think a card like that becomes a little extra strong. But I think this has lots of uses. Let's say you're playing against 1 Year War, and in the early stages of the game, they play the Zaku, the Char Zaku that makes a token when it dies, and so they have it's linked, and so it kills your base, and you're in that weird kind of awkward moment where it's like, I could play another base, but he's just going to hit. I can't kill that Zaku for whatever reason right now yet. And if I play another base, he'll just kill it instantly. It's not really worth it to play right now. So but like he has a couple other little guys out, because they always do, So it's like, it'd be nice if that base could block the little guy's attacks. But with this, you could just tell that Char Zaku to chill. It's like, you're not attacking next turn. You're just gonna not do anything and give me another turn to kind of collect myself. So I think this isn't necessarily a card that's 100% going to see play, but I think it does have a good shot. I think this is a very interesting card, and on top of it having the burst draw 1, I think is definitely helps it out. So it's definitely one I want to test and play around with. Up next, we have level 4, 1 cost, Spiritual Support. Main, choose one of your units. It gains repair 2 during this turn. I would almost rather just repair, like just go ahead and automatically heal, because again, like if you're playing against red, and if you attack something and you attack over something and you kill their unit and then you took some damage, you don't have an opportunity window for your opponent to activate Battle of Aces yet. However, whenever you go to end your turn, then they can play Battle of Aces and kill your guy. So if you could just repair instantly, like when you play this command card, then you would actually not be giving your opponent a window to hit your guy, which matters in some scenarios, like maybe because this could be a sideboard card against red if nothing else. But this, I mean, other than I guess playing it in the O, kind of makes sense, but even then, I don't know, it just doesn't really feel worth it to make a spot in your deck. I don't know. And then we have Shrike Team's Bulwark, level 3, 1 cost, Command Pilot, +1/+1. League Militaire Strike Team. And then the command effect is main or action. Choose 1 to 2 enemy units level 2 or lower and rest them. I think this is decent. I don't know if it makes the list, but it's something I would play around with. The effect is fine, I feel like. I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like there's a lot of generic League Militaire links, so it might be a 10 pilot deck. I'm not sure. Up next we have Reinforce Jr., level 3 1 cost base, 05 stats, League Militaire warship. Burst, just deploy, and then on deploy, add one of your shields to your hand. Then during your turn, if a friendly League Military unit is in play, deploy 1 parts. This can't, blah, 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 whatever. So I assume you probably play this in the League Military stuff, because this definitely helps set you up, especially if you play this on 3, get you out a token, and then you play another guy that maybe does something if you have a token, and then on 4 you get to play the one with the pilot that if you have 3 you get to draw a card. Like, it feels like it makes sense. So of course it could always still not see play because you maybe want to play a card, whatever, like Corsica or something that does something a little bit more than that token, but I feel like you probably want the token for this deck. Up next we have Jaburo, level 4 1 cost 05, Earth-Fed Stronghold, burst, deploy, on deploy, add on your shields to your hand, and then activate main once per turn, rest one of your Earth Federation units, choose 1 enemy unit that is level 3 or lower, and rest it. I don't feel like that trade-off is quite worth it. If it was just rest one of your Earth Federation units and then you get to rest anything, that would be like, oh, now we're talking. But level 3 or lower just feels, man, like it'll be good sometimes, sure, but do you play a base that's only good sometimes? Probably not. And then that's it for blue. Now we're moving on to green, starting with the Zeong. This is an LR, level 6, 5 cost, 4/3 stats, links to Char Aznable, when paired with a new type pilot. Deploy 2 of the 2/1 tokens, and then on destroy, deploy 1 rested of the 3/1 tokens. I think this is a pretty strong card. I think basically anytime you would maybe think about running Shards Gelgoog, like this kind of fills that in-game kind of role a bit better. I know it does different than what Gelgoog does, but I think this is just another good sticky unit to get at the end of your kind of the end of your game plan. And so you play him out. If you link him with Char, then that means you get 1, high maneuver attack, and then you get the 2 tokens, and then even if you do kill him, there's still 1 more token, and I feel like this is just kind of a big headache there at the end of the game. I know it's level 6, but, in 1 year war at level 6, you're hoping it to be the last turn or 2. So I do like this card quite a bit. I'm hoping he gets one of the plus spots. So we will see about that. And then we have the Gundam Ferract. This is the other LR for green, level 6, 4 cost, 5/4 stats, links to Ellen Saris. Breach 5, which Breach 5 is always good. Once per turn during your turn, when one of your other Academy units receives damage from an enemy, place 1 EX resource. This card is fine. I am not, just straight up, I don't like the Academy stuff. I don't personally think it is going to be doing much of anything. I think it's all pretty bad. This card itself, though, I don't think it's too bad, though, for real. And up next we have the GN Armor Type D Trans Am, level 6, 5 cost, Breach 3, when destroyed, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may reveal 1 CB card that's level 5 or lower among them, add it to your hand, return the remaining cards randomly to the bottom of your deck. Reveal 1 unit CB, okay, level 5 or lower. And it links to Lock On. I feel like this is a fine card, I think. Doesn't do anything super amazing, honestly. But I feel like it's a fine card. I just don't know. I don't know if CB, because like right now, obviously CB is not like a meta deck. I don't know if the new support is going to get it there or not, especially with CB kind of splitting up in colors. We'll have to see how that goes. Up next, we have the Gundam Lifrith Level 4, 3 cost, 4/3. Links to Sophie Poulon. Once per turn during your turn, when you play and activate a Donnafold command card using the EX resource, draw 1. That's okay. It's nice that it is not during pair or link or anything. We'll get, when we get to the Donnafold stuff, that'll get a little bit more into how I really feel about this stuff, because like this is a fine effect, but eh. Then we have the Gundam Liver Thorn, level 5, 3 cost, 4/4, breach 3, links to Noria Dunak. During your turn, when you play an activated Donnafold command card using an EX resource, you may pair that card from your trash with one of your units with Gundam Lifrith in its card name. Big mouthful of effect there, but basically you get to play the command card and then it just links to this, or one of your other Lifriths, I guess, for free. So kind of nice, but again, we'll get to these Donnafold cards, command cards. Kikaroga MS Mode GQ. Level 7, 4 cost, 3/6, links to Chalia Bull, which is never a great thing. All your unit tokens gain breach 1. Pretty good, and that is just a base effect. But during link, all your units are level 3 that are level 3 or lower. Other than unit tokens are deployed. Wait a minute. During link, all units that are level 3 or lower, other than unit tokens, are deployed rested. There we go. I said it all messed up. So this would be, it does count your units, but it's also your opponent's units. So like at the end of the game, if your opponent is trying to play out Lifriths and Rick Diaz and whatever, they're just going to come out rested and really not do much of anything. I don't know how I feel about this card. I want to like it. If it was not a Chalia Bull link, I would feel a lot better. But yeah, I just don't. I mean, granted, you just need the link for this effect. I still think getting all your tokens breach is pretty decent. But level 7 is so late. I don't know. I want to like this card, but I don't think we're getting there. We have Gundam Kyrios Tail Booster, level 5, 4 cost, 5/3, links to Alleluia and Hallelujah, whatever, Haptism. Deploy, choose one of your units paired with a Super Soldier Pilot. During this turn, it may choose an active enemy unit that is level 4 or lower as attack target. It's fine. It's a whatever card. Again, I think CB needs quite a bit more help than that, so meh. Gundam Aerial Rebuild, level 7, 5 cost, 5/5, links to Soletta. Again, now there is 2 Solettas, so that's kind of neat. Deploy, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may reveal 1 Academy unit card or command card among them, add it to your hand, return the remaining cards randomly to the bottom of the deck. I think this is a decent effect. I don't think this is necessarily an effect you want on level 7. Also, it can't get you a pilot, so it'd be one thing. It's like, I'm looking for a link at the end of the game, I play this. You have 2 Solettas in your deck, so you look at the top 3 cards, you should have a decent shot of getting a Soletta, except for, oh wait, it's a unit or a command card. So I don't know. I don't like the Academy stuff. I really don't. Up next we have Gondvolva, maybe? Gundvolva. Level 3, 2 cost, 3/2 stats. When destroyed during your turn, if you have another Donnafold unit in play, place 1 EX resource. And it's only during your turn, too. I don't like this card. I just don't. Garma's Dot, maybe the worst card in the set, if I remember correctly. Level 3, 1 cost. Deploy, look at the top card of your deck, return it to the top of your deck, or place it into your trash. This would be a decent purple card, actually. But it's a 1/1 with a link, and it's a level 3. This is bad. This is so bad. So bad. We have the Big Ro, which I think is really cool looking. He's level 5, 3 cost. 5-4 stats, Takwon Link. Might be a good card, probably. These stat lines are usually pretty good in the sealed events, but other than that, they usually don't see any play. Up next, we have the Zachrello, level 3, 1 cost. On a 4-1 stats, on attack, choose one active enemy unit. It gains blocker during this turn. This is not good at all. Just not good. Gundam Dynamis, GN Full Shield, level 3, 2 cost, 2-3 stats, links to lock on. Once per turn, if you have a CB pilot in play, when this unit receives damage from enemy, reduce it by 1. That's pretty decent, especially since lock on, I'm pretty sure, is a 2 health pilot. So this will become a 3-4. And then if you're using this to keep trading into, smaller units, you swing into a 2-2, you only take 1 damage. It's pretty decent. So I think this is a pretty good card, honestly. Again, I mean, how much does it help CB? I don't know, but it's pretty solid. And then we have a level 3 2 cost Choo-Choo's Demi Trainer, level 3, or not, sorry, it is level 3 2 cost, but it's also 3-2 in the stats. Academy Link generic. On attack, choose one of your other Academy units during this turn. It may choose an active enemy unit that is level 3 or lower as its attack target. Whatever. Like, it's just a whatever effect. Like, it doesn't really do anything super exciting. Hindry, level 2, 2 cost, 3-2 stats. Just generic Academy guy, no links or nothing. I don't think worth playing. Xavier's Gian Akuji Pax GQ, level 5, 3 cost, 4-5. This will probably be really good stats in the sealed event. Links to Xavier Olivet. Yeah, 4-5 is going to be pretty good. But as far as this being like an actual played card, I need to read this pilot. I don't remember what he does. So we'll hold our thoughts for that. Xavier. I don't think that's one that's out already. The new Suletta, level 5, 1 cost, 2-2 stats, which is nice. During Link, once per turn, when you play and activate an Academy card using an EX resource, if you have no remaining EX resources, place 1 rested EX resource. I feel like all this EX resource stuff is just very roundabout, and it's doing a lot for not too much of anything, really. For a level 5 pilot, I typically want more exciting things to be happening. And the +2/+2 is nice, but I don't know. I don't like the new Suletta. We will get around to showing a few alt arts at the end of this, though, and the new alt art on Suletta is gorgeous. I don't care how terrible this card is. I want the new Suletta alt art for sure. Alright, up next we have Garma Zabi, level 3, 1 cost, +1/+0. Zeong, during Link, when destroyed, if you have no EX resources, place 1 EX resource. I don't think Zeong cares about EX resources at all, so I think this card is terrible. Ellen Ceres, level 4, 1 cost, +1/+2. It's an Academy. During Link, on attack, you may choose one of your Academy units during this battle. Battle damage this unit would receive is dealt to that unit instead. That's interesting. It's an interesting effect. I don't know. That's one I think it's kind of hard to judge at the moment. We kind of have to wait and see. I don't know. I'd have to play around with that some more. I don't hate this one. And the +1/+2 is pretty decent. Then we have the Takwon, a level 4, 1 cost, +2/+0. Zeong, when this unit is blocked by an enemy unit that is level 4 or lower, it can't receive battle damage during this battle. I think this is the whole idea of that one guy that gives your opponent blocker, but it doesn't force them to block. So, because this is important to say, it does not say when this attacks or when this does damage or fights an enemy blocker, or however you would word that. This says when it is blocked by an enemy blocker. So they actually have to use the effect of blocking. I don't hate this card because I could see some play, like especially maybe in a sideboard to where you put it in there and it's like suddenly your opponent's like, oh, I shouldn't really block with this because it's just a free kill for them. Yeah, it is nice because it doesn't have to be linked either. You just get that effect on anything you put this on. But I don't know. I don't know how much play it'll end up seeing. In counter, I'm very excited about this new card, level 5, 1 cost. Command card on main, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You may reveal 1 pilot card among them, add it to your hand, return the remaining cards randomly to the bottom of your deck. I think this is one of those like end of the game type cards where you're like, I really just need a pilot, and once I get a pilot, I can win this game right now. Surging 5 is pretty strong. We don't have very many Surge 5 effects in the game, and I think this could be pretty. It could also not see play at all. I could see this card just being too slow because again, command cards are just kind of bad. Like a lot of times in the game, the command cards are just kind of bad. I could see this one maybe making it. I could see it maybe making it. We have Indiscriminate Violence, level 5, 1 cost command pilot, +2/+0 on the pilot side with Academy Donifold stats or traits. And then as a command card on main, choose 1 friendly Academy unit during this turn. It may choose an active enemy unit level 5 with 5 or less AP as its attack target. If you use an EX resource to play this card, choose 1 to 2 friendly Academy units instead. Again, it's fine, but I feel like it's a bunch of jumping through hoops, and I don't know. I don't like the Academy stuff. I've already told you. If you're excited about Academy, whatever, but like, meh. We have Destined Battle, level 2, 1 cost command card. Burst, add this card to your hand. On action, choose one of your rested units. During this turn, all enemy units must choose that unit as their attack target when attacking. Worth noting, it's on action, so if your opponent attacks with a unit, and then you respond with this, it does not redirect that first attack. So they will still get that first attack at least. Obviously, if this was in your shields, then it first has to be added to your hand, and then they have to attack again, and then you still don't redirect that second attack now. It's just anything after that. Again, the wording is a little weird. Presumably, after that target dies, they can attack whatever. It's kind of worded to where they... It is kind of worded to where they must choose that unit as their attack target, meaning that if they wanted to be super strict on the wording here exactly, technically, then maybe after that unit dies, then there are no valid targets because they have to choose that unit, but that unit's not there. I don't think that's how it works, but it is kind of worded that way. We have Witches from Earth, level 4, 1 cost command pilot. Sophie Poulon as the pilot, +1/+1 with Academy Donifold, and then during main or action, the command card, choose 1 friendly Academy unit during this turn, reduce the next damage it receives by 2. If you use an EX resource to play this card, reduce it by 4 instead. Pretty solid effect, but I don't know. I feel like there's too many moving pieces to the Academy stuff. I keep talking about it, but I feel like it's just hoping for too many things to be in your hand at the right times and be working out just perfectly. And I don't know. We all know that's not what happens in this card game. This card game is incredibly inconsistent, and I don't think that's a good card game for trying to set up, at least at the moment, these combo plays and stuff like that. If you're relying on certain things to bounce off of each other, and it's like, okay, well, it's like cool, but what do you do when you have 3 of these in your hand and you don't have the unit that when you play it gets the link to it for free and all that? It's like, I don't know. It's really relying on you playing a bunch of command cards, and command cards are kind of terrible, I'm telling you. Command cards are just kind of rough. You want to be playing units that either have decent stats or have decent effects. Moving on to bases, we have a boa q a babawa q, I don't know. Anyway, level 5 1 cost Zeon Stronghold O5. Deploy this card from burst, and then on deploy, add one of shields to your hand. While you have a rested Zeon unit in play, this base can't receive battle damage from enemy units level 4 or lower. Interesting card. I don't know if it immediately sees play, but this is a card to at least keep an eye on. I think if Zeon, ever becomes more of a mid-range deck or something like that, this card becomes incredibly powerful. As an aggro deck, it's not that exciting. As a mid-range card, it's pretty good, I think. All right, 9th Tactical Testing Sector, level 3 1 cost base, 05 stats, Academy Stronghold. Burst, deploy this card. On deploy, add one shields to your hand. When you place an EX resource, choose one friendly Academy unit. It gets AP +2 during this turn. Again, kind of whatever. So now we have red, starting with the Neo Zeong. Level 9, 8 cost, 6/7 stats, links to full frontal. And then when this unit or one of your Neo Zeon units is deployed, choose one enemy unit, deal 3 damage to it. And then also during link, all of your units gain Neo Zeon. I think this card is incredible. If you get to the point, to level 9, and especially you link them out, and you can link them with full frontal, you'll do the damage when you deploy him. It does 3 damage. You put full frontal on him, and then you drop a Neo Zeon from your hand. Let's just say the baby Kshatriya. Then you could do another 3 damage. And then, especially if the next turn you get to play another one of these, even if you don't link it, if you play one more Neo Zeon after this, you're doing 2 instances of 3 damage on that next turn. And then anything else you play after that's just, again, another 2 instances of 3 damage. This card is completely crazy, but it is level 9. And I think that definitely may hold it back. And again, this is a card that might take some time. I think it could be good, but we need more stuff to help deal with aggro decks, because red really gets a hard time with aggro. But I think this could be incredible. I really, really like this card. I want to see this card succeed. If you do get to the point in the game where you play this, I feel like you have so much control and can do crazy things. I feel like the game is yours pretty much at that point. It is getting to that point. Getting to that level 9 is pretty egregious. But even if it's not good now, I will hold on to hope for this card forever, as long as we continue to progress into, through the card game, and hopefully get to maybe a meta that slows things down a little bit. I like the Neo Zeon a lot. Moving on to the next red LR, we have Gundam Kyrios, level 4, 3 cost, 1/4, which sounds really terrible, but hold on. It links to links to those 2 guys. And then it also just has first strike all the time, first strike. And then its during link effect is this unit gains or gets AP +2 for each of your rested CB units. It does count itself, so at minimum, I don't remember what these pilots give you, if it's +1 or +2. But let's just say it's +1, so that makes it 2. And then with him, that's another 2, so that's 4. If the pilots are 2, then it's actually 5. But then if you have one more, then you go up to 6 or 7. And I kind of like this card. I gotta think it's pretty good. Again, I don't like CB. I don't know if this set is going to get CB to a competitive point. But I think Kyrios is kind of nice. Now, will it probably die? Yeah. Oh, and also, it's this is another instance of it has the +2 AP during your opponent's turn as well. So that's worth noting, because it would really suck if you get to attack with it, and then suddenly on your opponent's turn. Now, granted, if you have multiple guys, they can choose to kill those other guys first and then kill him, weakening him, you know. But, I mean, even then, at minimum, it's going to be 3 plus 1 or 2, depending on however strong the pilots are. I can't remember. So, I mean, it's still going to be, you know, a pretty strong unit to have to take out. I think level 4 first strike is pretty good. It's pretty good. The way you get your stats are kind of weird, but it also scales incredibly. That isn't how you say that word. Incredibly, because you can pump this up. I mean, theoretically, if you have 6 units, CB units on your board, this would be plus 12. You know, so I mean that's on the more ridiculous side, but you know it is possible. So I don't know. Kind of crazy. Up next, we have the Z Gundam, or however you pronounce this. I don't remember. Level 5 4 cost. On deploy with 4/4 stats, links to Hath a No Way. I can't talk. I'm getting tired. I've gone through too many cards. On deploy, choose one of your MAFD units when it destroys an enemy unit with battle damage during this turn. If you have 3 or less cards in your hand, draw 1. It's okay. Obviously, you know, only used in a MAFD deck. If this was just no. I was trying to make roundabout. It doesn't even matter if I'm talking about ifs anyway, because it is what it is, and it's only on MAFD, and MAFD is not very good. And even if it was good, this effect's kind of awkward. I like that it is just a deploy a thing, but then you have to destroy something, and if something goes wrong, then you don't get to do it, and you have to have 3 or less cards in your hand, which is awkward. And he's just a 4/4, which is okay. Meh. I don't know. If Matthew was better, I'd be more excited about that, I guess. Gundam Throne Eins, level 6 4 cost, 5/2 stats. Trinity generic link. Deploy, you may choose 1 to 2 of your other active CB units. Rest them. If you do, deal damage equal to the number of units rested with this effect to all enemy units level 6 or lower. So you can do 1 to 2 damage to all enemy units level 6 or lower, depending on if you have other active CB units that you will then be resting. And also, he only has 2 health. I think there's interesting things about this card, and it's like I almost want to like it for some reasons, but then I have a lot of other reasons to hate this card. So I don't think this is a good card. I think there's interesting ideas, but I think overall this card's pretty bad. I think if CB is good, this might see play, because that option, I mean, it is level 6 though. That option to deal with an aggro board of resting 2 of your guys and doing 2 damage to everything, that's kind of okay. It's not bad. It's not as good as like a Savior Gundam. I don't know. I don't think I like it. We have Gundam Curios Transam, level 6 5 cost, 5/4 stats. Links to these people, I can't say their names. While you have a red super soldier pilot in play, this unit gains first strike. While you have a green super soldier pilot in play, this unit gains breach 3. So in play. So I guess if you have both in play, it gains both of these effects, which is kind of crazy. Being able to first strike something and hit it with breach 3 is crazy. Obviously, I don't remember which one, but one of these is green and one of these is red, the pilots. So if you just play one and link them, and you don't have any other pilots out in play, depending on the pilot you choose, it'll be giving it first strike or breach 3. I do like versatility. I value versatility quite high in this game. So the hand, wow, actually, I mean, he's got high attack points to be giving it first strike anyway. I think this is pretty good. I like this one. Again, a card that is versatile, but then also can have both is kind of crazy, I think. Kind of crazy. Up next, we have Gundam Exia, level 3 2 cost, 2/1 stats, links to Setsuna. It is on deploy. If 2 or more enemy units are played, choose one enemy unit that's level 2 or lower, deal 2 damage to it. If 2 or more enemy units are in play, this is a great anti-aggro card. Well, the stats kind of really suck. It is level 3, 2 cost, and only 2/1. But it's kind of like playing in an aggro match. It's kind of like playing a close combat on level 3, but it's still the same cost as a close combat. But you also get a 2/1 body. This is interesting. This is gonna... No. Maybe. This might be really good in the sealed event. I'll have to think about that one. It's a rare, so it'll be a hard one to pull. This might be really good in sealed. If you can get enough CB guys, I guess. Oh, no, you don't have to have CB. That's right. They just have to have... I'm so used to this game being like, if you have a CB unit, do something. But no, if they have 2 or more enemy units in play. And this is going to be obviously good to, like, you can kill a Tallgeese token. You can take out, whatever kind of other tokens with 2 or less health. I think this is a pretty good card. Like, this might be a card that actually sees play outside of CB. Like, this could just be kind of a decent red card for real. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Up next we have the Rosin Zulu. I think this guy's terrible. To follow it up, level 4, 6 cost. Weird thing going on there. But it is a 4/4 stats. Links to Angelo Sauper. It is a Neo Zeon. If there are 8 or more Neo Zeon cards in your trash, this card gets -4 cost. So it'll become, if you have 8, it'll become a 2 cost. However, if you're trying to get 8 Neo Zeon cards in your trash by level 4, I don't know how that makes any sense. It also has on deploy, choose one enemy unit, deal 1 damage to it. If it has repaired, deal 3 damage to it instead. This just doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm being very charitable, but if somehow you have some kind of red-purple deck that is discarding cards, and you happen to be discarding only Neo Zeon cards, and you get up to 8 and get this out on level 4 for only 2 cost, that's kind of good. Outside of that, I don't really know. I don't really know how this makes sense. We have Shuzram Gallus, level 4, 2 cost. 4/3 generic Neo Zeon trait link. Pretty solid. I prefer 3/4, but 4/3 is pretty good. And with the generic link and the 4/2. So yeah, I assume we'll see this somewhere. Gundam Throne Dre, level 5, 2 cost, 3/3 stats. 5/2 cost is weird. Links generically to Trinity. Once per turn, when this unit is rested by an effect, set it as active. What? I can't remember what is trying to rest things in CB. This is a weird. Like, why do you want this out on level 5? I might be missing something here. We have the Psycho Gundam that teased my heart. This is the GQ. Level 7, 5 cost, 4/5 stats. Links to Do Murasame. And then during link, once per turn, when damage from one of your units paired with a Cyber New type pilot destroys an enemy unit shield area card, choose one enemy level 5 or less AP, deal 2 damage to it. Pretty solid effect. If this is a good pilot, I think this is a playable card. I think this is pretty neat. However, we will learn later that this pilot is terrible. Terrible. Up next we have sleeves. Level 3, 2 cost, 2/3 stats. Deploy, choose one enemy base, deal 1 damage to it. What good is that for? Why do you want to do 1 damage? I'm sure there's going to be certain scenarios in which one damage is going to matter. I guess technically, like if you went second, you played a 2/2, and then on your turn 1, on turn 2, you could play this, deal damage to EX base, and then swing with the 2/2 to blow up the EX base. Does that make this an aggro list? I mean, I'd be willing to play around with it, but I feel like no. I feel like no, right? I feel like this is terrible, right? I don't know. Unless you just really need to pad those Neo Zeon stats, but I don't know. Up next, we have the Gadil, level 3, 2 cost, 3/3 on attack. If you are attacking a damaged enemy unit, this unit gains breach 3. Also, possibly, maybe, could be a pretty good card during the sealed event. Outside of that, I don't think this sees play at all. Gundam Thrones Away, level 4, 3 cost, 3/4. Generic link to Trinity, but then also linked to Ali Al Sachez, whatever, I don't know. This is, I think, the first time we've seen a dual link and one of them be generic, I think. When linked, choose one of your CB units. During this turn, it may choose a damaged active enemy unit as the attack target. So, again, we've seen this effect a bajillion times. It's whatever. It's kind of nice that you can put it on any of your CB units, but you know. Gundam Dynamis, level 5, 4 cost, 4/4, links to lock on, so this is locked into a green-red list. Deploy, you may rest this unit. If you do, choose one enemy unit level 3 or lower, deal 2 damage to it. I don't think that is probably worth it in most scenarios. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, you know, best case scenario, you play this out, you activate the effect and hit a tall geese for 2 and kill that, and you still have a 4/4 body. It's fine, I guess, right? Gundam Virtue, level 3, 1 cost, 3/1, links to Tyria Erdi. Isn't that a purple pilot, I think? And it's just generic. This is bad. This is really bad. Hambrabi, GQ, level 5, 3 cost, 4/4, generic Earth Federation trait. Link. I don't think this would see play. I don't know where this would make sense. Unless I'm missing something, but I don't know why you would play this in an Earth Fed deck. Up next, we have Nina Trinity, level 4, 1 cost, pilot, +0/+3, which is pretty interesting. Burst, add it to your hand, and then activate main, support 2. Which is kind of nice because you can leave your guy with extra health, and they're not attacking, but you get to put that support 2 on something else. This is an interesting pilot, I would say. I don't know what is looking to necessarily gain that support 2, but it's fine. And then we have Hallelujah Haptism. Level 4, 1 cost, 2/1. During link, let's return during your turn. When this unit destroys an enemy unit with battle damage, look at the top card of your deck. If it is a CB card, you may reveal it, add it to your hand, return the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck. I think this is decent. This is fine. It's not anything spectacular, but, you know, presumably you would at least kill one thing. And then if your deck is mostly CB, it's nice because it says CB card, so it's not like it has to be a unit or whatever, a pilot or whatever. So it's pretty generic, and could be a base even, as long as it's CB. So if your deck is mostly CB, then hopefully you get it, which is kind of nice. But again, nothing. And then if you get to keep attacking, you would get to keep doing that effect, as long as you keep destroying stuff, I guess. But theoretically, probably get one with it, maybe. And oh yeah, the Dumurasame, level 4, 1 cost +2/+1. When destroyed, choose one undamaged enemy unit, deal 1 damage to it. That is such a terrible, terrible effect. Most things on destroy are pretty bad anyway, I feel like. Unless it is adding something to your hand or creating a token or something like that. But this is so rough. That is so bad. Michael Trinity, a level 4 1 cost +2/+1 pilot. CB Trinity, when linked, choose 1 damaged enemy unit, deal 1 damage to it. Kind of got the same problem going on here. So this is a much worse Battle of Aces, and it's on Link too. I don't like this at all. I think that's terrible. We have command cards now. Level 5, 3 cost. Overwhelming Pressure. During main or action, choose 1 enemy unit, level 6 or lower, deal 4 damage to it. I think that is interesting. I don't know if this will end up seeing play, though, because it does not have a burst. And that, I think that hurts it a lot. I'm not going to lie. It might still maybe be a 1 or 2 of, possibly. But I don't know. I feel like it not having a burst is pretty detrimental. But, I mean, I'd play around with it. I'll test it out. Up next, we have Financier. This card I like quite a bit. It does not have a burst, but I think if it had a burst, it'd be pretty broken. I'm not going to lie. If the burst was activate the main effect. It'd have to be... If the burst was just added to hand, I think it'd be fine. It'd still be pretty good, though. It would still be pretty good. So, level 6, 3 cost, main or action, deploy an EX base. I think this card could potentially be crazy. I'm not 100% sure yet. I need some testing. I need to play around with it. But the amount of things you can stop. So, like, if your opponent is attacking with a unit with suppression, you can let them, get them a false sense of security where they think they're attacking into your shields, and then all of a sudden they're hitting an EX base and they don't get that suppression. Your ability, just in general, even to you're basically blocking an attack with an action step. It just sets up a lot of plays. It obviously also, it's basically a free shield. Or not free, you're paying for it. But it's just, you get to block one more attack. Unlike playing a regular base, this isn't lifting up one of your shields. I think this card is it's a little expensive, which is my main concern. The level and the cost, I think, are kind of high. But it might still be worth it. I will definitely be playing around with this, and I hope this also has a really cool ult art as well. But we'll see. We'll see about this. Up next, we have Trinity, level 4, 1 cost command pilot. As a pilot, it is Johan Trinity. CB Trinity, +1/+1. As a command, main action, choose one to 3 of your CB units. They gain +2 AP during this turn. I think that's a very whatever effect. I don't think is probably worth it most of the time. Again, fine effect, but it's just not worth running. But it is a pilot, so maybe, but I still think probably not. I don't think it's very good. Inspector, level 4, 1 cost command pilot. As a pilot, it is Gates Kappa. +1/+1, Earth Federation Cyber new type, with the command effect of main, deal 1 damage to all units that are level 2 or lower. This one, I do think, potentially could see play, because it has the Cyber new type tag, and then it's kind of a all-ranged attack, but only for aggro. I don't have high hopes for it, but I think it is interesting. So we'll leave it there. And then moving on to bases, we have Trinity Warship, level 4, 1 cost, 0/5 CB Warship. Burst, deploy this card. On deploy, add one of your shields to your hand. Activate during main once per turn. Pay 1. Rest one friendly CB unit. Choose one enemy unit as level 5 or lower. Deal 1 damage to it. I think that is fine. It's not really good, I don't think. But it's an effect. You know, if this was like a League Militaire thing, or you rest one of the tokens to deal 1 damage, I'd be like, that's pretty good. I like that. But having to rest one of your CB units, I feel like is meh. And I know, like thinking back, there was that one guy that's like, when he's rested, unrest him, but it's like, you know, that's once per turn. It's like, meh. Oh, we're literally on the last card. Okay. Azuma Colony, level 1, 1 cost, 0/4 base. Burst, deploy this card. Oh, it's Clan Stronghold, by the way. Deploy, add one of your shields to your hand when this base receives battle damage from an enemy unit with 3 or less AP. Deal 1 damage to that unit. So this is the base that fights back if the unit has 3 or less AP. But also, it only has 4 health, so probably gonna get 1 shot more than likely anyway. I don't think this card will see play. It gets somewhat more interesting if you put this in a red-white deck and you're able to do AP manipulation with, you know, unforeseen and different things, and then suddenly it's like, yeah, okay, well, maybe you're starting to do more damage to more things, but it's only 1 damage, and that's really only somewhat effective against aggro decks, and I don't know. I just don't think it's... I don't really think it's worth it. Alright, and now we are moved on to purple. We have Gundam DX, our first LR, level 8, 7 cost, 6/6 stats, links to Garrett Rand. It is a vulture with suppression just baked into it, and then during pair on attack, if you are attacking the enemy player, you may choose 7 vulture cards from your trash, exile them from the game. If you do, choose one enemy unit or base that is level 8 or lower and destroy it. That is a cracked effect. It is pretty insane. The big major drawback to this is that it is a vulture card, and you have to have vulture cards in your trash. The effect is on during pair, so there's a little bit of leeway there for you. But vulture is not good. It has now a great, awesome boss card. I don't know if we're going to get there, but I know people are going to try. It is also level 8. So, there is that. But, I mean, what's cool about this, so, like, where Exia really struggled, for example, was if your opponent had a base or a blocker. Like, they just needed one of those things, and you're not getting... Or, no, I think you just needed the block. I don't remember. Because nobody ever plays Exia because it's bad. But anyway, I think if it was a blocker, because I think if it destroyed a base, it would still get its effect. But anyway, so this one's with it having suppression, so it's kind of a different thing. But this one, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter if your opponent has a base or a blocker, one of the two. Then you could destroy one of those things as soon as it attacks, and then hopefully get the suppression off. Obviously, if your opponent has a base and a blocker, or multiple blockers, or different things, then, you know, you're not going to get that suppression off. But this is still really good. Really, really good. It has pretty solid stats. You're going to destroy something. They're going to have something that is level 8 or lower. And then maybe also suppression. So, pretty wild card, I feel like. Then we have the Destiny Gundam, the other purple LR, level 7, 5 cost, 5/5 stats, baked in high maneuver, which is pretty awesome. And then, Shin Asuka Link. During pair, on attack, you may choose one Minerva Squad unit from your trash, pay its cost to deploy it. So what is nifty about this, so you play Shin, and that'll cost 6. But when you attack, Shin will reset one of your resources, so you'll have 2 resources, and then you can bring back like a Sword Impulse Gundam, and then that can destroy a level 3 or lower card. Or you can bring back a regular Impulse Gundam. So this is a very interesting card. I like this card a lot. I definitely want to play around with it. I like the Impulse stuff. And I think it's a lot of fun. So I do hope this will be a pretty good deck. I think this could be a very, very fun deck. If it works out, I still kind of think there needs to be like one more good Impulse Gundam, in my opinion. But we could get one next set. Who knows? Here is Gundam Airmaster Burst, level 5, 4 cost, 5/3 stats, links to Wits So I don't know. And then during pair with a Vulture pilot, if there are 7 or more cards in your trash, this unit may choose an active enemy unit with a keyword effect as its attack target. See, that's what I'm talking about. Vulture's just bad. Vulture's just bad. It's so unfortunate, but yeah, I don't like this card at all. Moving on to Gundam Leopard Destroy, level 6, 4 cost, 4/5 stats, generic Vulture Link. During pair, on attack, you may choose one enemy unit, deal 2 damage to it and this unit. God, see, like it's like they want to give it a good effect, and they're like, nah, it's a Vulture, make it terrible. I don't know. I don't see why you'd play this. I don't see why you'd play this this card. I'm not feeling it. I don't think it's the worst thing ever, but it's also kind of bad. Up next, we have a good card, actually. Raise Blaze Zaku Phantom, level 4, 3 cost, 4/3 stats, generic Minerva Squad Link. And then during Link, once per turn, when this unit receives damage from an enemy, reduce it by 1. So that is effect damage or battle damage. And it is once per turn, but I mean, that's still pretty solid. So you can swing into this immediately when you Link. And it's pilot. It's going to make it even better when we get to that. But you link to this, swing into something, it's automatically reduce it by 1 damage. Up next, we have the Gundam Virtue Transam, level 7, 5 cost, 2/6, links to Aria Erde. When this unit deals battle damage to an enemy unit, destroy that enemy unit. I don't think this is good, because you could also, instead of having this effect, just have given it better stats. And the difference between this unit having this effect or this unit not having any effect and just having better stats is this could kill a base or something if it had more stats. Sure, there's going to be situations like this could kill a linked Wing Zero, but it's like, this is 5 cost plus a pilot and whatever. Like, that's already a lot that you're doing. Feels pretty bad. I feel like it's a pretty unplayable card. We have Heinz Goof Ignited, level 5, 3 cost, 5/4 stats, links to Hein Westenfluss. Is that pilot in this set, or was that part of the starter deck? I don't remember. We'll get to it eventually. I do like the art on this card. Whatever stats. Again, this will be a pretty good card and sealed. And then we do have the other Impulse Gundam in this set. Sword Impulse, the second Sword Impulse, level 4, 2 cost, 3/3 stats, links to Shin or Luna Maria Hawk. And then on deployed, deal 1 damage to this unit. If you do, choose one enemy unit with 3 or less AP, rest it. I think this one's okay. It might be like a 2 of type of card in the deck. I'm not really... it's not really what I was wanting out of an additional Impulse Gundam. It's fine, I think, maybe. Then we have Gundam Nodley. I don't know. Level 4, 3 cost, 4/3 stats. Links to Aria Erde. On deploy, choose one enemy unit that's level 6 or lower. During this turn, reduce its AP by an amount equal to the number of unit cards with Gundam Virtue in their card names in your trash. I don't know. I'd really have to go through and think about all the Gundam Virtue cards that are in the game and whether or not they're good, and I don't know. I'm not a CB guy. I'm not feeling CB, so maybe I'm wrong. Jamil's Gundam X, level 3, 2 cost, 2/1. Doesn't link with Jamil. No link at all. During pair with a Vulture pilot, when destroyed, if it is your turn, return this unit's paired pilot to its owner's hand. It's fine, I guess, but kind of expensive for 2-1. I don't know. I don't think this sees play. It's also an old UNE. I don't think that does anything. Like, I don't think anybody cares about old UNE. Dodger's High Mobility Command Wise Wallaby. Level 2, 2 cost, 2/2, links to any generic vulture. Could maybe see play. Obviously, it would be much better just as a level 2, 1 cost with no link, but maybe. Esperanza, level 3, 2 cost, 1/4. Links to Anil L. On deploy, if you deploy this unit from your trash, draw 1. Maybe. If Vulture is doing Vulture things and actually deploying things from the trash in a reasonable time and not, eventually on turn 6, this could be kind of good. Maybe. I'm not sure. The 1/4 stats kind of sucks. Then we have G Falcon, level 2, 2 cost, 3/1, blocker. This unit links to Palacis, by the way, Cis, whatever. This unit can't attack while there's 6 or less cards in your trash. So kind of not great, but it's a fine blocker. I feel like this might see some play. If you're building a Vulture deck and Vulture turns out to actually be something, possibly. Luna Maria's Gunner Zaku Warrior. We got there. Level 3, 2 cost, 2/4 stats. Generic Minerva Squad link. I like this stat line. It's fine. I feel like it's nothing exceptional, but it's good. I don't know if it's good enough to see play, but it's good. GN Armor Type E, level 4, 2 cost, 3/3. Links to Setsuna. On deploy, choose one enemy unit's level 1 or lower. Wait, level 1 or lower, or has 1 or less AP, destroy it. So tokens, basically. This almost just reads destroy a token. Which isn't terrible, but also not great. I don't know how I feel about this card. It's kind of weird. Because, like, people play the Sailor's Mass, or whatever that thing's called. I might be getting that wrong. But it does 2 damage to a token. This just outright destroys any token. I feel like this is a decent card. Up next we have Gundam Exia, level 2, 2 cost, 2/3. Just a little guy. I don't know. I don't like this stat line and cost. I don't think anything typically ever ends up playing it. On to pilots, we have Rei Zaburo, level 4, 1 cost, +1/+2. When linked, choose one of your Zaft link units during this turn. Reduce the next damage it receives by 2. This is the guy that links with this. I mean, it doesn't have to because he's a generic Minerva trait link. But again, so this guy once per turn gets a reduction of 1 damage, and then this guy, when linked, you choose one of your Zaft link units, so you can choose itself, and then during that turn, reduce the next damage it receives by 2. So you can link this with that unit, swing into somebody, and take 3 less damage that turn. So you can eat an Anksha for free that turn, which is pretty crazy. And then still, once per turn, which also counts during your opponent's turn, I believe. Yeah. Even during your opponent's turn, you're taking 1 less damage a turn. I think those are pretty good cards. That's a rare, whoops, and that's a rare, right? Yeah. So that'll be pretty hard to pull in sealed event, but if you can, that will be busted. Up next, we have Palacis, level 3, 1 cost, +1/+1. Wait, what is this? Satyricon and a Vulture? I don't think I've seen that type before. When linked, choose 1 purple unit card with suppression from your trash, add it to your hand. Meh. I mean, obviously this is to grab the DX, because with purple you discard a lot of stuff, but I don't know. I don't. It's so specific. I'd almost rather it be like level blah 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 or higher, level 5 or higher, something like that, to give it more options. I don't know. I feel like that's bad. Luna Maria Hawk, level 3, 1 cost, +1/+1. Zaft Minerva Squad Coordinator. When linked, choose one of your Minerva Squad units during this turn. Battle damage it would receive is dealt to this unit instead. So this is the opposite of one of the other cards we saw earlier, where you would choose a different unit to take the damage. This one, this unit is yeah, you choose a different Minerva Squad unit, and then this unit takes that damage instead. Battle damage, that is. I don't think I like that. I don't know what use case you would have for that. Up next, we have Anil L. Level 4, 1 cost, +1/+2. During link, when this unit deals battle damage to an enemy unit is level 5 or lower, destroy that enemy unit. I don't really know. I mean, that's good, I guess. You can attack. You can kind of attack up into things, I guess. If you're attacking into somebody that is, I don't know, whatever, an ale strike, then you are guaranteed to kill it after, even if you end up dying through that. If you're kind of basically, you are immune to unforeseens and stuff like that, because it doesn't matter how strong you can be at 0 AP and you will still destroy the enemy unit. I'd have to really look. Who did this link to? Anil. I know this was that this one. Oh, yeah, so with it being just a 1/4, ooh, that's a lot of health, though. And there was a +2 pilot, right? Oh, wrong card. So it becomes a 2/6. That is interesting, actually. 2/6 that destroys anything it fights that's level 5 or lower. I don't mind that. Up next, we have level 3, 1 cost, damage control command card. Burst, choose one enemy unit. It gets AP -2 during this turn. On action, choose one of your units during this battle. Reduce battle damage it receives by 3. This is an okay effect. Whether it ends up seeing play, I don't know. I don't know what purple deck wants this necessarily. Like, again, it's not bad, but like, what purple deck is making room for this in their deck? I'm not sure. And then we have Reformationist, level 2, 1 cost, command, burst, choose one unit card with Transam and its card name from your trash, add it to your hand, and then main or action, choose one of your units and one enemy unit, deal 1 damage to them. I kind of like the burst effect more than the main effect. It's just like a Gundam Adapt, but without the body, which feels bad. I feel like, I don't know. I don't know the point of that card. Back up, level 3, 1 cost, command, burst. Choose one enemy unit, deal 1 damage to it. Or main, choose one of your units. When it deals battle damage to an enemy unit level 5 or lower during this turn, destroy the enemy unit. So kind of the same thing, except for as a command card. This is much worse as a command card. Reliable Big Brother, level 4, 1 cost, command, pilot. As a pilot, it is Hein Westenflus, +0/+2, Zaft Minerva Squad Coordinator. As a command, place the top 2 cards of your deck into your trash. If you do, choose one enemy unit with 4 less AP, deal an amount of damage equal to the number of Minerva Squad cards placed with that effect to that enemy unit. I think I talked about this one in a short for sure. This is way too unreliable, because like, you just don't know if you're going to hit 2 Minerva Squad, even 1 Minerva Squad. You could play this and hit no Minerva Squad cards. And like, ideally you are hitting Minerva, like, you probably want the Minerva Squad cards in your graveyard anyway. So it's not even like, if it was the type of effect like, whatever, this sounds ridiculous, but deal the damage based on non-Minerva Squad cards, then you'd at least have the ultimatum of like, either I get to do damage or I get Minerva Squad cards in my graveyard. I'm fine with either one of those. But this is like really just completely in or bust. So yeah, I don't like that card. We have the Freedom 2, level 4 1 cost 0/5 Vulture Warship. Burst, deploy this card. On deploy, add one of your to your hand. Then if there are 7 or more Vulture cards in your trash, choose one enemy unit with 2 or less AP and destroy it. One thing that is kind of nice about this is the effect does activate on your opponent's turn. So if you're getting attacked, especially by aggro, you can, and this it gets burst out of your shields. If you have the 7 or more Vulture cards in your trash, which again, nice that it says cards and not units or something. This will kill an aggro guy. This can kill a Lifrith. Something else, maybe, I don't know. But, not a terrible base. Again, if Vulture ends up working out, I just don't know if it will. Armory 1, this was a new interesting base, I thought. Level 4 1 cost 0/6. Zaft Stronghold. Burst, deploy this card. On deploy, add one of your shields to your hand. And then when destroyed, all players draw 1. What's interesting about this card, in a negative way, is when this is destroyed, it's going to be your opponent's turn. Which means it'll always be your opponent drawing the card on their turn. I feel like if this was just on deploy, both players draw a card, that would kind of tilt it into your favor. But then also, if it was deploy and even if it was your opponent's turn, both players draw a card. It's like depending on if it's a burst, it's advantageous to your opponent. If you play it on your turn, it's advantageous to yourself. Probably would be too strong if it was on deploy, honestly. But this is just guaranteed that the advantage, even though you are both drawing a card, so it's the same in that regard. But the person that its turn it is getting a card, and that is your opponent. I said that in a weird way, but I hope you understand that that is an advantage for your opponent, and I don't know if that's worth it. But it might still be decent, and it is an 06 base. I think this will be a pretty strong card in sealed. And we're on to the final color, white. We have the first LR Unicorn Gundam 02 Banshee Norn Destroy Mode, level 7, 5 cost, 5/5 stats, links to Riddy Marcinus. With the effects during link, activate main, exile 3 blue cards from your trash, set this unit as active. It can't choose the enemy player as its attack target during this turn, and then every time it attacks, all enemy units gets AP -1 during this turn. So if your opponent has a big board and you have a bunch of blue cards in your trash, he can keep on attacking, and every time he attacks, your entire opponent's enemy board is getting negged by 1. Pretty crazy effect. I don't know how often the stars are going to align to make things perfectly. Because, like, if you just don't have rested guys, then this isn't that good, So I don't know. I mean, you can play a siege ploy, and that'll rest one guy and be 1 additional blue card for you to exile. But I don't know how much value this is going to end up getting. The art is gorgeous. First of all. But I don't know. I have a buddy very, very excited about this card, and I'm kind of in the wait and see. Definitely has potential for sure. Next LR we have for white is the Unicorn Gundam Awakened, level 7, 5 cost, 4/6 stats, links to banish your link, and then it has just baked in suppression, and then also when you activate a command card, a command's main or action effect specifically, choose one enemy unit, it gets AP -2 during this turn. I think this is a pretty decent effect, and with the baked in suppression, obviously it forces you into a blue-white list. But I don't know how I feel too much about the Unicorn package. Again, I feel like this is a good card, but I don't know if it's good enough to bring out the whole Unicorn package. It might be. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Up next, we have the Turn A Gundam. Another LR. White got 3 LRs. Was that the only ones to get 3 LRs? Maybe? I don't remember. So this guy's kind of complicated. Level 5, 3 cost, 4/4 stats. Links to Lauren Sahak. Activate main once per turn. Pay 1. Choose 1 unit card with repair, breach, first strike, support, high maneuver, suppression, or blocker from your trash. They did update this card to be from all trashes or something like that. I can't remember how they... But you can take something from your opponent's trash now. And then during this turn, this unit gets AP plus 1 and all of whatever those effects are on that card. I think this is an interesting card. I think it has definite potential to be a very playable card. I just don't know what the deck is going to look like to be crafted. Because even though with the update and where you can take something from your opponent's trash and steal that effect, I don't know in what scenario... Like, because you have to build a deck that is going to have some of these effects. Probably not all of the effects. But you're going to be building a deck with certain effects in mind. And I just don't know. I feel like it's a lot to think about. And I'm not there yet. I haven't figured out how this guy's going to work yet. Up next we have Silver Bullet. Possibly. Might be one of the best cards in the set. I don't know. We'll see. Level 5, 3 cost, 4/4. Links to Gale Chan. And it's a blocker. When this unit receives effect damage from an enemy, reduce it by 3. So basically, immune to all ping damage is what this guy says. Just completely immune, other than there's like 2 or 3 cards that can do some damage to. It still gets reduced by 3. But yeah, you're going to have to just kill this guy with a unit. You're going to have to Amuro and swing into him. I think this is going to be a card that we'll see continuous play, I think, probably for a good while. Up next, we have another Turn A Gundam. If you're a comic person at all, I really, really thought this was Peach Momoko art when I first saw it. I still think it looks like it. But anyway, level 5, 3 cost, 4/3 stats, Lauren Sahak, Link. It has blocker, and then during Link, at the end of a turn where you have paid 1 or more for one of your other militia Diana counter units effects, choose one of your militia units, set it as active. Choose one of your militia. So you could choose itself. So basically, you can activate the other Turn A Gundam's effect or something else. And then you can swing with this, and then at the end of the turn you set this as active. Or something else is active. But setting this as active makes it a blocker again. Or if you set this guy back to active, then you can, if you give him first strike, set him as active, and the next turn you can give him first strike again, and it's harder for your opponent to clear it. Something like that. I don't know. I think it's a little weird and convoluted, but and this one does have to have a linked effect for that. Is he linked? No, he's just activate during main. He doesn't even have to have a pilot. Interesting. Yeah. So it might be more important to save the link for this. I don't know. Up next, oh my god. Al Seychez's AU Enact Custom Moralia Development Experiment Type. Level 2, 2 cost, 3/1. Super Power Block. Links to Ali Al Sachez. Deploy. You may pair one pilot card with Ali Al Sachez in its card name from your hand to this unit. So you get to play him and then link him for free. We'll get to that pilot eventually, I guess. I don't like him because his name's too long. Up next, we have Graham's Union Flag Custom 2, GN Flag, level 5, 3 cost, 4/3 stats, links to Graham Acre. Burst. If an enemy CB unit is in play, add this card to your hand. What a terrible burst effect. I was so mad reading this earlier. Because I was like, I get excited because I'm like, oh, another unit with a burst effect. You know, I can't wait to see more units with burst effects. And it's like, what if we made it terrible? Alrighty. Activate main. Choose one superpower block card and one UN card from your trash. Exile from the game. If you do, set this unit as active. It can't attack during this turn. So this is just to activate Graham Acre's effect and also put it in a position, you know, make it harder to kill. I think it's interesting. I think superpower block is still trash, unfortunately, as an archetype. And so relying on that to reset this does not make it any better, and its burst effect is basically not even an effect. 1 out of every 7,000 games you're going to get unless CB starts being really, really popular. But like right now, CB's not played at all, so this is literally just a... Even if, like, if you think about a popular deck right now, like most popular decks, like you're seeing like 20% of the time, 15% of the time. Like, this is terrible. It's such a terrible effect. Alright, up next we have Unicorn Gundam O2 Banshee Norn Unicorn Mode, level 5, 3 cost, 5/3 stats, links to Riddy Marcinus, when linked, choose one enemy with 3 or less HP, return it to its owner's hand. Decent effects, stats are kind of not great, they're not terrible, but they're not great. It might see play because of the way the pilot works, but... we have another Turn A Gundam. This is level 4, 2 cost, 3/3 stats, generic militia or moonrace trait. Links. Activate main once per turn, pay 1. This unit gets AP plus 2 during this turn. So another way to activate the other Turn A Gundam. You don't have to have a pilot. He can just become a 5/3 whenever you want him to, if you pay 1. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. I have to see what this deck, like what a Turn A deck is going to look like. I think this could possibly see play, but I don't know. Up next we have Kapul. I love the design of this guy. Level 3, 2 cost, 3/3 stats. Militia. On attack, you may pay 1. If you do, draw 1, then discard 1. I feel like that's fine. The ability, well, you have to pay 1 for it though, so it's like not as good as a, what is it, Strike Gundam that does that on deploy, but you don't have to pay anything. I don't know if I like this guy. I don't think I do. I think this is bad. I don't feel like you should have to pay for this. Am I wrong for that? Would it be too good if it was just every time it attacked? It's just a 3/3. You can take away the link. Up next we have GNX. Level 4, 6 cost, 5/3. Links generically to a UN trait. Reduce the cost of this card in your hand by an amount equal to the number of UN Superpower Block command cards in your trash. Hopefully you're not playing very many UN or Superpower Block command cards, which would mean this card is pretty bad. And even then... it's just a 5/3. I don't like 3 HP. We had the Haifevi. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it's a plane and it's pretty fun. It's level 1, 1 cost, 1, 2 stats, militia. It's interesting. It's interesting to have a little plane in the game instead of a unit. Kind of neat. We have New Lifrith. This is flat militia. Level 3, 2 cost, 2/4 blocker. So now, if you're playing blockers, you have 2 Lifriths, which I think this will definitely see play. 100% see play. Could potentially awaken a new blocker meta. I hope we don't, like Rick Diaz did. Hopefully we don't get there. We have the Borjarnin. Level 2, 1 cost, 2/2 militia. Obviously good. These are always good. And this art is sick. This would go hard as a foil. Up next we have the Agrissa, level 5, 3 cost, 5/4 stats, links to Ali Al Sachez, no effects. Again, at least the bare minimum will be good in sealed format. Up next we have the Alvator, level 4, 4 cost, 4/4 stats, links to Alejandro Corner. When destroyed, if you have another UN Superpower Block unit in play, Deploy one rested Alvaron, which is a 4/1 token. This is okay, I guess. No, you have to have another UN. This is bad. I don't like this. If it didn't have that restriction, it'd be okay. We have the Lauren Sahak. Again, I'm probably saying that wrong. Level 4 cost. Or sorry, level 4 1 cost pilot. +2/+1 stats. It is both militia and moonrace. When linked, choose one enemy unit with 3 or less HP. Return it to its owner's hand. Which is an okay effect. It doesn't really do anything in combo with any of the other Turn A Gundams or anything. But it is just like just a fine effect, I guess. Yeah, I mean, as a pilot, I think its units are much more interesting. The pilot is kind of whatever itself, honestly. Up next, we have the Riddy Marcinez, and it's level 4 1 cost +1/+2, Earth-fed new type. During link, when this unit receives effect damage from an enemy, reduce it by 2. This is interesting for a number of reasons. So when paired with this guy, you're going to keep attacking, and then every time you do, you'll neg 1 to your opponent's board, and then if you were to try to take it out with effect damage, it's going to be reduced by 2. So it makes it, a harder matchup, like against red or something. This can also, maybe go into an Earth-fed deck and link into a Delta Plus or something, and then make that pretty hard to get rid of. I think this is a pretty decent pilot. And then with it having the 2 health, and then also being kind of immune to effect damage, it's pretty good, I think. Pretty good. Then we have the Alia Sanchez, level 4 1 cost +2/+1, super power block UN. During link, on attack, you may choose one enemy pilot, return it to its owner's hand. That is a pretty good effect. I do like this effect. Well, I don't know. Actually, let me think about it a little bit more. It's kind of an awkward effect, because it's good to get the pilot off of a unit, but then oftentimes pilots have really good effects, and so if you give, it is a may at least. It's not a you have to. So that's something. I don't know. Actually, now that I think about this, I don't like him. I changed my mind instantly, because at first glance I was like, oh, you get to get rid of a pilot, but it's not really getting rid. It is letting your opponent recycle a pilot, which is probably bad. Up next we have Sochi Heim, level 3 1 cost +0/+2 militia. Once per turn, when you pay 1 or more cost for one of your unit's effects, you may increase this unit's AP during this turn by the amount equal to the cost paid. So hopefully, a +1 or +2 could be a +0 AP that turn. But let's see. No, that one is not a generic link. I think the only generic A Gundam was this one. Then he has the cost 1. So and that already gives him +2 AP, so he'd be a 5/3 with this pilot, which would be an additional 1, so a 6/4. No, 6/5, which is okay, I guess. That's fine. But it is a little bit awkward, so I don't know how I feel about. You'd have quite a bit of things to pay, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Up next, we have Graceful Demeanor, level 4, 2 cost, command card. Burst, activate this card's action, and then on action, it's not main, which is something to keep in mind, but on action, choose 1 to 2 enemy units that are level 3 or lower, return them to their owner's hands. I think this is a pretty strong card. It is a great card to hit in your burst. If you're especially this is great against aggro. It's pretty good against aggro. It is pretty good against aggro. But then it's also, I think, really good for aggro. I've been playing a blue, white aggro list, and so this to me, says like, hey, get rid of 2 blockers. Bounce them to your opponent's hands for 2 cost is pretty good. I'm going to definitely be testing this card in that deck. I think it could be very, very strong. And then we have World Distortion, a level 3, 1 cost command pilot. As a pilot, it is Alejandro Corner, +1/+0 UN type. As a command, main, or action, if 2 or more friendly UN pilots units are in play, choose one enemy unit with 5 or less HP, return it to its owner's hand. I don't think this is good. I think this is pretty bad. 2 or more is kind of very restrictive. Its effect is fine, but for 1 cost, it's fine. But I don't know. I don't really like it. And it's +1/+0. Level 4, 1 cost fighting alone. As a pilot, it is Gale Chan, +1/+1 civilian with the command effect main or action. Choose one friendly unit paired with a new type pilot. It can't receive effect damage from enemy units during this turn. Can't receive effect damage from enemy units during this turn. That is very specific. So, God, what would this even apply to? It can't receive like Kshatriya damage, but again, if Kshatriya is already attacked, they've done the damage, and you can't respond with this, so they would have had to attack with something. This is terrible. And it has to be a friendly unit paired with a new type. Like, this is terrible. It is so specific. It has no opportunity windows to be used. I feel like the game wants to have opportunity windows, but it doesn't. And they're just like, damn. Up next, we have Machine Doll Squad. Level 2, 1 cost, +1/+0. As the pilot, Mieshi Kune, militia type. Command card, it is main/action. Choose one friendly militia, Diana counter unit. It gets AP +2 during this turn. Feels like a useless command card. On to the bases. I'm getting tired, y'all, but we're almost done. We have the Will Gem. Level 3, 1 cost, 0/7 base. First ever 0/7 base. It is militia and warship. On burst, deploy this card. On deploy, add one of your shields to your hand, then deal 3 damage to this base. So it comes out as a 0/4, actually. But then once per turn, during your turn, when you pay 1 or more for a friendly unit's effect, this base recovers 2 HP. So, let's say you play this, and then you play whatever, turn A, whatever, and you activate his effect, and then you recover 2, so it becomes a 0/6, which is pretty decent. I think what becomes really cool, and it is once per turn, so you can't, like, activate multiple effects and whatever, and heal it all the way up in 1 turn. But your next turn, if it wasn't damaged or took 1 damage, then you can pay another 1 effect, whatever, and then heal it all the way full to 7. And it's like 7 is a 6 health base is already pretty irritating. 7 is quite a lot. And then it also sets this kind of motion to where if your opponent isn't hitting it with, completely killing it, and like they only do 4 damage to it with something, then it's like, okay, well, next turn I can heal it again for 2. And you can just kind of every turn heal it for 2. I think this card could be something crazy. I think this could be very, very irritating to have to get through. And then obviously, you can protect it with blockers and stuff like that and make it quite impenetrable, potentially. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Up next, we have Industrial 7, level 4, 1 cost, white base, 05 stats, civilian stronghold. Burst, deploy this card, deploy, add 1 shields to your hand, activate main, once per turn, exile 1 command card from your trash, choose 1 enemy unit, it gets AP -1 during this turn. I think it's a pretty decent base. Nothing super crazy, but as long as you would be playing command cards, which if it's white, you're probably at least playing overflowing, and maybe something else, maybe unforeseens, or I don't know, whatever. So I think this could see play. I'm not 100% certain, but it definitely could see play. And that's it. We're done, except for I have one more thing kind of to show you all. I guess we've got a couple things to show you. So, well, first off, we're just going to quickly go through the resources. Here is Penelope, Victory Gundam, Zeong, Gundam Ferract, Z, or however you pronounce it, Kyrios, Virtue, Destiny, Turn A Gundam, and then the Unicorn Gundam Banshee, blah, 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 whatever. I personally hope this is the plus. I think this will be gorgeous as a plus. Whether that happens or not, we will see. They have yet to say. But, I mean, even the regular plus, I think, of this is going to be beautiful. And then we have a couple alt arts here. So, starting with the Suletta. I mentioned this one earlier. This is gorgeous. I love the colors of this and the style. I'm a big sucker for like really thick inking lines or whatever, like the outlines. I just really like this style, and the colors are beautiful. Again, I don't like this card. I don't think Academy is going to be good at all. Fight me if you want. I don't care. But, you know, I don't think I have to fight anybody on saying this card is beautiful. And then the next card we have is the alt for Lauren Sahak. This one is good. I like it. I'm not super crazy about it, but I do think it is a nice card. It's a kind of a little goofy looking, but it's fine. I like it. And then we have our first look at some of the SPs as well. There will be 5 SPs only in this set, and they will all be units. Hopefully there's no doubles in this set. If you didn't know, on the last one, every case was guaranteed to have 2 Mikazukis and 2 Iron and Bloods, and then 2 of something else. So hopefully on this one, with only 5, because that was 7 SPs in the last one, this one's only 5. So I don't know, hopefully they cut that out, or if they do pick them, hopefully they're good ones. We'll see. So this is the Unicorn Gundam Destroy mode, the one that whenever it attacks it gets to rest something. I think it's a gorgeous looking card. It's really pretty. Not a card that sees a ton of play right now. There's, you know, some unicorn support coming up, so maybe, but yeah, not super crazy about this one, other than it just being beautiful. But then we have the Ale Strike, which super sick art, but also a card that is definitely played a lot. Maybe not played quite as much as it once was, but I think a card that will continue to always see play. This card came in super clutch to me today at locals. I dropped it. I only play in my aggro deck. I only run 2, but I dropped both of them and bounced 2 Forbidden Gundams. And yeah, it was pretty catastrophic. And so yeah, this is if one of the doubles ended up being Ale Strike, I wouldn't be mad. And if it's something else good, like a Grandpa or something, you know, I wouldn't be mad if they do end up doing doubles again. But yeah, this is I don't know for certain if there's other restrictions on what the units are going to be for the SP. Again, like I said, what I heard is that there are 5 SP cards and they all will be units. Personally, I am desperately hoping for Gun Tank, the one that does 1 single ping damage. And then I think Heavy Arms, the one that can link with whatever. I think he would be a cool one. I really like Heavy Arms, and so I'd like to get an SP of him. I think would be sick. And he hasn't had an LR or anything, so I think it'd be super great. Obviously things like Grandpa would be amazing. I think the Sharzaku that spits out a token when he's destroyed would be a good pick. I don't know. I don't really know what to expect. Hopefully they don't pick anything terrible. Hopefully all the picks that they do for the SPs are really, really solid cards that have proven to be quite playable. But I don't know. I am excited. I think the SPs look gorgeous in this set, and I am excited to see the rest of them and see the rest of the alt arts in the set. And I will try to keep up with those and talk about them and do shorts on those as they come out. But again, thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, I don't even know how long it's been, but it has been a minute now. So thanks for watching this. Thanks for staying with me as I've had kind of a break on the channel. Again, I'm very excited for things moving forward because I will be getting working at a card shop is going to be a little dangerous because I'm going to be buying a bunch of pretty cards all the time. I'm going to be buying stuff like all the time. But hopefully also that means like I'll never, now I should never miss kind of any releases and things coming out and whatever, as long as they're normal store releases, I guess. But yeah, that's all I have for now. Thanks for watching. I'm tired, y'all. Y'all have a good, good day or night or whatever's happening. Bye.